but there are still a lot of unanswered questions. For example, why is it even possible? The explanation the scientists provide suggests some kind of a slight change in volume and the substitution of different ions that seems to create a unique crystal structure. Or, I guess in more common terms, magic. Okay, maybe I'm being overly
All right,
skeptical
thank you
here,
there,
but
Anton. So as we can see, Anton Petrov himself said this new superconductor thing is essentially magic. But there's one thing that I've learned from Professor Keating and Arthur C. Clarke. It's that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Well, you all know what that means. We conjecture
Although
ahead.
this is going to be weird, and it's going to be about a different.
Title of the conference was something like Ground Truth or Turtles All the Way Down. And so it seems as though there's one Ruliad. I don't think it rules them all. And it might be just hyper-rulial turtles all the way down.
Yes, it's on the back of an infinite number of hyperrulial turtles.
Various people are commenting on the outrage of hacking the universe on a MacBook Air.
Hey guys, what's going on? Memes here. Welcome, Mansquatch. Welcome, Rick. And anyone that may be joining us during this stream, or temporarily in the future, I claim. So, what do we got going on? There's a lot of buzz. We heard about this a while ago. I think we did a video on it. Basically, we had the red stuff. Once we put this particular material under a certain pressure, it starts to go red, and then it exhibits superconductor properties. Apparently, that article is in the process of being retracted from Nature. And maybe another article about similar things. So people are skeptical. Then again, is skepticism always a thing depending on who it is? I don't know. I'm just saying we should try to be fair and open and transparent as much as we can. We'll get into that in a moment. All right. So what the heck are we talking about? All right. This is a preprint on the archive. Again, some teams are trying to replicate this. It's undergoing the peer review process. Why? Because science. Yes, we all have oopsies, Rick. All right. The claim is the first room temperature ambient pressure superconductor. You're like, oh, all right. And again, Anton's video is linked in the doobly-doo below. I feel like he did a fantastic job basically saying, it looks like it might be a superconductor. We'll get into the video in a second because basically the whole thing is you'd see these things like a teapot or something like that, like a neodymium. Basically, they'd have a magnet and then they'd have another material and then they would either cool it down or put it under extremely. Oh, actually, on the floating thing, it's basically they would measure, I believe, its resistivity. Basically, once you hit 0, you enter. Basically, we could transfer if we could transfer electricity with essentially no loss to heat or anything else. That would be a total game changer for humanity. If it's true. Again, some healthy skepticism. But basically, as we can see here, for the first time in the world, we succeed in synthesizing the room temperature superconductor. So basically, it exhibits superconducting properties up to about 400 degrees Kelvin, aka 127 degrees. That's past the boiling point of water, so that would be huge. I believe one of the other ones under a diamond press was like 54 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. It's basically getting up there, but this would be huge. And apparently it's creatable from a lot of standard materials, which would be fantastic. And you could also make it really quick. Are we in the modern age of alchemy? I'd say it looks that way. So basically what they're calling it with a modified lead apatite LK99 structure. The superconductivity of LK99, that's actually got a cool name to it. Apparently, one of the things is this paper apparently was uploaded with, I believe, one of the primary author. I believe it's I could be wrong. I'm not sure if they do it in a different way. It's usually, I believe, they have the main author, or the primary investigator, or whatever it is. Maybe I've just been listening to too much cosmology stuff, but essentially, the main person on this didn't give their consent, and this was uploaded anyway. Why it was uploaded, I don't know. Apparently, this person also, at least according to Anton, I believe, applied for a patent as well on this material. I'm like, all right, can you patent it? I mean, that sounds like it would be very valuable if it was. I don't know. Is this just a thing of nature as well? Let's just continue on. Where the abstract is actually pretty good here. So basically, did a LK99 prove with a critical temperature, zero resistivity, critical current, critical magnetic field, and the Mesner effect. I think I looked that up once before. Go internets. The expulsion of magnetic flux when a material becomes superconducting in magnetic field. If the magnetic field is applied after the material has become superconducting, the flux cannot penetrate it. Oh, wait a second. Isn't that something that was it Steinmetz or who was it? It may have been Steinmetz. I believe somebody had said, oh no, it wasn't Steinmetz. Maybe it was. A perfect obstructor is a perfect conductor. You're like, that doesn't make any sense. But if you're looking at, apparently a lot of this just happens on the skin on it. I'm like, wait a second. Is that why there's that insulation and stuff on the coaxial cable for my TV? I'm like, I don't know. I mostly just sold the stuff. But I ask questions. Questions can be dangerous. But I have no idea, man, Squatch. A lot of people are talking about a lot of different things. Is it a happy coincidence? I have no idea. If it's the sciencey stuff, that's cool. If people want to make claims, well, I'm just saying. I think I did a video on Rule 1 of the internet. Don't believe everything on the internet. It's not a bad guiding principle on the internet, I would say. Just healthy skepticism. I'm just saying. Okay, where are we at? All right. The superconductivity of LK99 originates from the minute structural distortion by a slight volume shrinkage, like 0.48%. Well, that's a little bit of shrinkage. That's still shrinkage. Not by external factors such as temperature and pressure. So essentially, they're saying this whole magic, so to speak, happens because they combine these different, what is it, like copper and lead, I think? Basically, you combine these different materials, and then its volume seems to shrink. So rather than having to apply a whole bunch more pressure and or lowering the temperature, very often it would be like close to like absolute zero, or just like far below like ambient room temperature, where most of our stuff and things actually work. Yeah. Basically, that ends up logically that makes sense to me. I'm like, all right, things tighten up there, they become more efficient. I'm like, that's kind of cool. All right. The shrinkage is caused by, I believe that's the copper +2 substitution of is that lead +2 two ions in the insulating network. And then I believe, I apologize if I get my elements wrong. My apologies to my friends of the chemist community, chemistry. Bb2 phosphate, and it generates the stress. The concurrent transfers the Bb1 of the cylindrical column, resulting in distortion of the cylindrical column interface, which creates the superconducting quantum wells. SQWs on the surface. The E-capacitor results indicate that the new model is suitable for expanding the superconductivity of LK. It's all going to get better. Cool. The unique structure of LK99 allows the minute distortion structure to be maintained in the interfaces is the most important factor that LK99 maintains and exhibits superconductivity at room temperatures and ambient pressure. I mean, again, totally huge. Let's get the PDF. So, let's see. I think they have some cool pictures and stuff. Actually, let's just go talk about what other people are saying about it. Why? Because we be humans. I gotcha. All right, so it is lead. Hey, Fractal. Thank you. This is why people are very skeptical. Like, here's the thing. I said the New York Times at one point, but where are they? All right. The way they frame this is A looming retraction casts a shadow over a field of physics. Misconduct allegations are leading scientists to question the work of Vranga, including his claim. I believe this is actually a different gentleman. Vranga Diaz. Let's look at the paper here, because you're. I'll go back. I don't see that gentleman's name on it there. But apparently, also in Anton's video, he also highlights that even people that were, I think, like fairly notable folks, often in positions of power, in like Stanford, Harvard, and stuff like that. After enough folks look into it, it's like, yeah, some of this is literally just fake science. Like, it looks like some people just made some stuff up. But I would also posit rule 2 of the internet. The internet is forever. Well, especially if you're a scientist, if you're going to have all this stuff out there and somebody's like, yeah, this isn't true at all. You totally did this. That's why we're supposed to give citation. Right? Mansquatch, it says it's actually pretty easy. They actually go through the process, and some people apparently trying to replicate. Again, most of it is just based upon what Anton told me. He actually tends to be a good source. That's why he's my first link. I'm just saying that. So, Korean team claims to have created the first room temperature ambient pressure superconductor. Ooh. So this is essentially, oh my god, it is like freaking alchemy. You have the mixed powder in there. They're listing their ingredients there. Oh my god, what is it? The copper and the P is, I think, the phosphate, or no, it's something else. Oh, positive ion, I think. It spells out cup. Well, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, look, it literally is like you put this cup in here, and you're. I'm sorry. I'm looking for things that register in my head. A team of physicists affiliated with several institutions in South Korea is claiming to have created the elusive room temperature ambient pressure superconducting material. Their work has not yet been peer reviewed. They posted 2 papers in the archive preprint server. So the second paper was the one I believe they said. I believe the primary person did not give consent. Yeah. So essentially, this is the long story short is essentially several months ago, and every once in a while, someone's like, "We've discovered a room temperature superconductor." What the catch? Well, it needs to be about no greater than 54 degrees. And it needs to be under, like, I don't know, 10,000 a million pounds per square inch of pressure or something. That's all. But when we actually get to this stuff, where is it? Good old Anton. But he basically goes over it. Where is it? There we go. So we actually don't even need the sound for this, which is better. So all right. So they basically have the different materials that are just kind of hanging out there and everything, and it's supposed to be able to do that. And let's take a quick look. So basically, it seems to levitate, but it's not fully levitating. So basically, what they're describing is that there's an imperfection in part of it, but the other part is seems to be facing up. So essentially, I mean, again, if that's true, that's absolutely fantastic. Maybe we can get some, I don't know, maybe upgrade some infrastructure. I mean, I'm just saying, monorail. All I know is I hear about like these really fast, fancy trains in other parts of the world. And as somebody that's been on the T in Boston, it usually works. I understand reasons, high population areas, but how cool would it be to zip across the country and just not all that long? And maybe if we didn't need to burn as much fuel, I don't know, maybe not pollute. I don't know, give a hoot, don't pollute, or I don't know, maybe be good shepherds of Mother Earth. I'm just saying that, well, pretty sure we all came from the Earth. And there ain't nothing wrong with maybe showing a little respect. Oh, but the other thing that's interesting is you go through, okay, other things here. So basically just from popular mechanics. So it's like, we want a diversity of links and everything. So basically the same thing that we're seeing here. Yeah, okay, so their listing is 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Reportedly demonstrate. Okay, so different properties. Okay, and I mean, again, there are different things, but here's what's interesting. While also looking for this, I found this. This is more recent. It's from, I believe, today. Team creates simple superconducting device that could dramatically cut energy use in computing. In computing, MIT scientists and colleagues have created a simple superconducting device that could transfer current through electronic devices much more efficiently than is possible today. As a result, the new diode, a kind of a switch, could dramatically cut the amount of energy used in high. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. I mean, what if we could use the same different materials and stuff like that? I'm like, what if there's synergy? And again, this is also published. So this has been published in an issue of Physical Review Letter. So again, that's one of the big major journals. It's probably like, I don't know, like 20 something. Oh God, the Royal Institute was like 12 grand for a year-long subscription. I'm like, oh my God. I think I'm still gonna pay the 24 bucks to just actually look through it for 24-hour access. At some point when I have more sleep. Hey, wow. Thank you for joining, my friend. But oh, hey, there you go. Hey, sweet. Ain't nothing wrong with 42. It's a pretty cool number. I know. It's that wonderful person, Anton. And again, some of these folks are from the Max Planck Institute. And again, we're going to review all this and everything. But, I mean, if any of this is true, I mean, isn't this one of the things with science? Like, once you get all these different things on, now, I have absolutely no evidence of this. I'm not saying that modern AI prompting may be helping science accelerate at a pace that we've never seen, but just one of my things that I have kind of noticed is I see a lot of people, a lot of really smart people, and I feel a lot of them are talking about a lot of the same things. Not always. It's going off in different directions and everything. Before this, I was thinking about, should I just do a video on like why string theory like probably works in 10 dimensions? It's like, or at least appears to. It's like, oh, why does it only work in 10 dimensions or more? It's like, well, at least some of the models, at least the monastery, as far as I know it, it's like, well, if you look at the constants in nature, and you can basically just boil them down into 5-dimensional ingredients: time, space, charge, mass, and temperature, which is a really weird thing if you think about why are there only 5. And if one of the emergent objects happens to have a double cover component, 5 times 2, and maybe some form, let's say hypothetically, we're conjecturing a bifurcation style system. Isn't 5 times 2 10? Thad's original was a quantum space time from like Einstein's intuition. It's like visualizing nature in 11 dimensions. I watched his like TEDx video. I think it's got like an extra 700,000-800,000 views in the past year or so, which is also kind of cool. Now I'm not saying the number of clicks equals it's just interesting observing what's going on. Basically, a lot of different folks. I feel like they're talking about different things, and I feel like some folks should know that other people exist, or maybe this research exists, because I feel like there's a lot of synergy. And isn't that one of the big things with like large language models, the ability to access data from all over the place? And I feel like at least some of the incentive structures out there don't necessarily encourage people to do as much collaboration as they probably should. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of collaboration out there. You see folks out there like thousands of different people on the same thing. That's freaking cool. Or CERN and stuff like that. It's like there's a lot of folks. Why? It's like, well, you want to get citations and everything. You got to get your academic clout up. I mean, oh God, I hate those words coming out of my mouth. Was it wrong? No, even Anton goes into H index, and one of the primary authors in that main article has like H index of 45, basically good enough to get a professorship. I'm like, is this how this really works? And then you can cite yourself and everything. Hey, man, whatever you got to do, whatever I think I had like another article or two basically on the same stuff like that. But yeah, again, some healthy skepticism. I have made the claim that rumor has it 2023 will be the year to see. I feel like it's starting to pan out that way, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But hey there, OB. But I can either confirm or deny. Proper response, no comment. But yeah, I think humanity has the ability to level up. I'm gonna make that a claim. Life's an adventure. Let's do our best, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Take care of yourselves. It's a wacky and wild world out there, but here's to humanity.